execution, so if you'd like to come in, please. Has murdered in his past. Would you like to follow me, please?
It was such a beautiful day. I was walking home from work down by the canal. It was such a beautiful day. I remember looking up at the sun, and then suddenly it blotted out. It was so sudden. When I came to, I could just feel the cold and the dark. I felt numb. I could feel the vines of rope constricting against my skin. And then I knew why. My feet, they just weren't there. I tried to scream, but I was gagged. No noise came out. I could feel a knife on the back of my neck, and then I heard his sickening tone. I don't like your left eye. It just won't do. He slid the knife across my cheek and under my eye. He then stood over me with a neat cleaver in his hand. What a pretty face. He swung the meat cleaver, and he went about a quarter of the way through my neck. I was choking on my own blood, and that was the last thing I saw, was him swinging the cleaver and my blood splattering against his vile face. And that's how I died. He took my head.
I had just finished a cup of hot cocoa and drifted into a deep sleep, wrapped up all cosy in my bed. A strip of sunlight glinted into my eyes from the crack in my curtain. I felt strange, groggy, not at all like I'd had a good rest. And that's when I realised I was fastened to my bed. My arms were tied down and my legs were gone, both of them, from the waist down. Screaming wasn't an option as I was gagged. My door slowly opened, and there stood him, face covered. He climbed onto my bed. A rope slipped out from the inside of his sleeve. He just stood over me for what seemed like an eternity. That's when he spoke. "You have beautiful legs," he said. "They'll do perfectly." When he climbed on top of me, he put the rope around my neck and pulled. Not too tight at first, I could just barely breathe. He just stared into my eyes. It loosened. I took a huge breath. My tears were warm as they ran down my face. "Shh," he said as he wiped them away. "I'll make you feel better." And I heard a zip slide down as if in slow motion. The rope tightened again, but this time no air got into my lungs. I felt the tip of it press against me, and as I took my last breath, I felt him slide in. And I knew even when I was dead, he never stopped.
I had been out drinking that night. I had work in the morning, so I left my friends early and headed on home. There was a shortcut down this alley, and being a bit drunk, I thought it would be fine just to take it. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw something come at me, so I spun around and smacked him in the head with a handbag. It took him by surprise, and I ran off screaming, but I tripped over, and my shoe had fallen off. He jumped on top of me and put a sweet-smelling cloth in my mouth. His yelling woke me up, but I was in a daze. He was calling me a bitch and a whore, and that I ruined everything. But my mouth was so sore, and blood was gushing out. Then I realised he cut off my tongue. I could hear sirens getting closer, and I just needed more time so the police would save me. He yelled and picked up a blade of some sort, screaming, "I need your arms," over and over, until he hacked them off, and the pain was so indescribable. I was bleeding out, and then he picked up my shoe that was lying on the floor, and he impaled it into my temple. Just before I died, I heard the door break open with people yelling, "Get on the ground," but then they were just too late.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to follow me, we're now going to see the execution of Dr. Victor Franks. Please take a seat. I'll just go and collect the prisoner.
Let me look at you things. So many men. You can go straight in the trash. I won't be needing your parts. But you ladies, you may come in handy if your parts are right. I only need a torso now. And once I get the rest back, I will have my complete perfect woman. The one I can call my true love. But that last skank had to fight, and I got too careless. Women aren't as weak as I thought. So let's look at some of you. Too big, too small. Well, you won't proportion right, will you? But you're perfect. You're exactly what I need once I get my hands on your parts.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, Dr. Victor Franks is clearly dead. So if you'd like to follow me, we'll now be leaving.
Sorry, Sophie.
I hope you enjoyed yourselves today. I hope you will enjoy